I didn't grow up living in a city. I come from more of a Midwestern environment. It's not the sort of place where you can just go and do whatever. When you're in a city, you have this sort of feeling that you can find whatever it is you're looking for. Not in like an existential sort of way, but more like, there's a business for that. Maybe you want to pick up Muay Thai or whatever other hobby. You can probably find people who are into that. There's more young people in cities. Not to say that they don't have their old people either. I don't think they're really lacking specific demographics. But when you're in more of a rural environment, you're surrounded by fields and woods, and you're really far from it all. Most noise you're hearing are the neighbors' animals, maybe some hammering and drilling as people are working in their garages on their days off. You miss that hustle and bustle. You're not surrounded by all that. And for some, it's a good thing. I mean, if 24/7 you're hearing noise and it's completely out of your hands, it'll probably drive you crazy. But at the same time, the feeling of being really far and disconnected from everything. People fantasize about the idea of, I'll go out to a hut in the woods and it'll solve all my problems, all my social idiosyncrasies, or any place that I feel I'm not matching up to society's norms or whatever. People feel like if they just go further away, it's going to take care of that. Nah. But what's happening is it's turning into a nest, into a den. And you're really just going to revel in it wherever you go. Bruce Wayne goes to his bat cave. He doesn't become normal in there. He just is surrounded by sort of himself. Guess depends on the version, right? But you'd start brooding and you'd start focusing on not changing, but just sort of staying where you are. And I think that's kind of the benefit of if you are in an environment where you're running into more people and more experiences, is you're sort of picking up little things along the way. That's not to say a rural life isn't a life well lived. I don't think that. But it's just different, Some people have this idea of having a traditional life. And to them, that's just sort of a distilled romanticization of hard work, diligence, good character, which is fine. Those are all positive things, and yeah, go for it. But then they think they'll have this homestead, and they'll pull in the bucks and support their wife or husband and kids, and, they'll just live all that. But if you were a teenager coming from a rural sort of environment, you just get this detached, weird experience. It's like, it kind of feels like anytime you see anything on YouTube or whatever online, wherever you're watching things, and you're probably watching things because what else are you doing for fun? It's the Midwest. Everything you're seeing it's kind of coastal or it's urban, and maybe it's a grass is greener sort of thing, but you really don't have that much stuff around you. I mean, that's why people hit 25 and, they go off the deep end and they just become tweakers. That's why the Midwest is filled with meth. When people are living in their trailer in the middle of nowhere and they just see the leaves change color and another season rolls around, run out of beer, what are they going to do? They're going to go to the dollar store, load up on materials. They're going to go back home and they're going to cook meth. Because what else is spicing up their life, right? But I've gotten a little off topic. Back in regards to people who say they want to go to that traditional life. The thing is, you go to a lot of these urban places and it's like, it's towns with 800 people in them, Like nothing is there. They think, oh, maybe I'll mosey on into the local Baptist church and I'll meet myself a nice girl. But it's like, it's not a college town. You're not gonna find people who are in like your age demographic who aren't out of their frickin' minds. You know? I think the stereotype for Southerners, where it's like, they have like the incest stereotype, right? Where it's like they're getting together with their cousins or whatever. Now that's that's a rude and overstated sort of thing, I think. But it is that sort of idea of them being really limited with the sort of people they can interact with. It's like, your community is so small and isolated that it's just, it's a village. It's like 3 families, If you couldn't have any luck with the others, your neighbors, they've only got sons. You're a straight dude. It's like, well, I got my cousins. I don't know. I'm just talking. But yeah, you're kind of limited, when you're in the Midwest. I look online and I see historical European martial arts. It's like, wow, an activity, well, just getting out and brawling and using these old sword fighting techniques or whatever. And it's like, dude, you live in the Midwest. You're not finding any place practicing HEMA. It's over. Give up. New hobby. Oh, man, what am I going to do? Am I going to learn guitar? It's like, man, do I want to? Is music my thing? Maybe. I don't know. I spent so many years not doing anything besides staring at a screen, damaging my eyes, and, playing games or whatever. And it's like, that's kind of what it turns into, You're actually surrounded by woods, unlike people in a city. But even though you're outside of this gentrified environment, you're not actually like living in the wild at all. You're not really going outside and living it. You're just spending time cooped up in your room because it's become a lair, And I think that's sort of the hut in the woods thing. Now, if you don't have internet out there, it's a little bit different. But you still have those issues I was talking about before, where it's like you're not getting new experiences and your brain's just kind of like sizzling to death. Your brain is being Dutch ovened by cabin fever, and you're not getting out and stretching your sort of mental muscles with these new experiences. Anyways, that's what I was thinking about today.